Stargirl, Season 2, Episode 6. This really felt like the mid-season break, but we're coming back next week. Wow. This show really surprised me. I've been a fan since day one. You know Stargirl is a show that I have enjoyed, I have loved, but this issue surprised me in the way it presented itself. I really didn't think we'd go this far. I didn't think this early in the season. I guess it's about the midway point, but still, like, this is a lot of stuff going on in the midst of the show. Like, in episode 6, this deals with some heavy stuff, and it's pretty insane. So, I do want to spend a lot of time talking about, like, the ending of this episode, but we will have to go through some of the stuff in the middle of it to get to there. Of course, we know that Cindy was building up her ISA team. This is just kind of seeing that this ISA team is attacking, in a sense, our JSA. Isaac goes to talk to, Yolanda at her work. Again, I understand why you add, like, the work angle for Yolanda. I do. I think, it's a choice. Is it the right one? I don't know. It's weird. It's like, yeah, it's something for her to do, but is it necessary? Not entirely, and I think this episode kind of proves that. It's not necessary, but Isaac's coming for her. We see that Artemis is going for Beth when she's trying to talk to her dad. It's interesting stuff. I love the way Artemis is kind of like becoming Artemis, but she's doing like the Sportsmaster stuff. We'll get to it at the end there. And as they're all kind of coming together, we see that Cindy captures Mike. Mike's like, okay, my dad wants to work on a JSA project, something that doesn't have wheels. I'll find out what that is. He finds a big drill bit. He's like, I can use this for something. Cindy captures him, and we were led to believe that Cindy wants him for the ISA team, but she just needs him as bait, which is weird, because then why was he in the picture? Like, why would he be in the picture? Side note, I just found out that Trey Romano, the guy that plays Mike, is Ray Romano's son, which I'm just like, really, Ray, you named your son Trey? It's perfect. That's Ray Romano. I love it. I just thought that was cool, so I wanted to share it with you guys. So Mike's captured, and we see that Pat gets attacked at the pit stop. Literally, the ISA comes in their suits and beats him up. He gets attacked by the Fiddler, a stupid name, but the violin kid's kicking his ass. And then we get Artemis in her Artemis-ish looking suit, and it is probably the most CW out of any costume on the show. That's not a criticism. I don't mean that in a negative way. It just looks the cheapest and ragged and run together, which I guess is the point. Who knows? We also see that Cameron doesn't join the team. She was kind of hoping to get Cameron. He's not on the team. He's probably going to come back in some capacity to do something on some team, whatever that could be, but who knows? So Pat's attacked. He's in the hospital. We realize Cindy's got the diamond. We have to find her. We have to stop whatever it is she's about to do. I think that's cool. Okay, we got to get our team together. We got to go fight the ISA, essentially, and stop this bad guy from happening. So, this show has been very particular on its budget this season, and I think in this episode, this is kind of unrelated to like the budget stuff, but I think this episode really shows you the constraints of the COVID stuff, because there's not a lot of people in the backgrounds or the foregrounds of anything, which I get, because when we're shooting this, there's certainly a pandemic going on, so you don't have to do that stuff. But it's like, it maybe could have been nice to see some extra people there. Back on track. This show has been very good at dealing with its budget. It has withheld a lot, but given us some really interesting stuff. The stuff with Thunderbolt and Jade have been really cool to see this season. We've withheld a lot of stuff. But I think this episode, more than any so far in the series or on most television productions for superhero stuff, it just said, yep, we're sticking to what makes a comic book, and that is cinematic parallels, that is transitions, that is editing, and that is mindless destruction. So we're going to the pretty much now abandoned high school. Like, no one's in summer school anymore. That storyline should just be ended, because how do you go back to school after what happens here? So we're going back to the school. Cindy is there with her team. We got Artemis working with her and the Fiddler, and she's ready to attack the JSA. They're here to find Mike, and what we get in this scene is probably some of the best choreographed and best filmed stuff on a superhero television show. I won't go as far to say it's better than some movies, but I think this is on par with the best of Daredevil. Or those scenes in Daredevil, like the hallway scenes and Punisher and like in the prison. It's on that level, and it doesn't film like in one continuous take, but the scene where the ISA and the JSA are fighting in these moments is absolutely amazing. It is so perfectly choreographed. The fight scenes look great. They are in focus. Every character is in frame, and they are acting very in character. You see Wildcat is jumping off the walls and bouncing around. Courtney is using her staff and flying all over the place. Our man, again, Rick has been a favorite character of mine. He is just mindless destruction. If that is your power to be strong for an hour, beat the shit out of everything in sight. Beth is using her goggles to, like, this could distract some people from the fight, but she's the one that finds Mike. It is a gorgeous fight, and what tops it in terms of being a spectacular fight, this really surprised me. Holy cow, whoever edited this episode, and I should have looked it up. I will put their name right here, right now, so you can see it, and hopefully you'll find their other works, but whoever edited this episode, they should get a raise from whoever's employing them. CW, Mad Ghost, whoever it is, whoever is employing this person. They deserve a raise, because the transitions from a character flipping and then we cut to another character standing there and like the way they flipped, or Courtney rolls and Yolanda rolls the same way and gets up, or the way someone bounces off a wall and we see in another shot someone bounces off the wall in the same way, and the way that Rick does the stance, which cuts into Yolanda doing the same stance. The way that it's just choreographed so perfectly where we can have those transitions and have those it's amazing. It's spectacular. There's nothing that good. It's like fan edits. You see those fan edits on like YouTube, Facebook, TikTok of just, like some, I think the most iconic ones are like the Marvel stuff where like maybe Thor's jumping down with the hammer and then it cuts to like Spider-Man, that classic pose or something. It looks better than those because it's so fluid and the characters are fighting fantastically. And just when you think this episode can't be topped, the Shade comes in. He's trying to get the diamond from the girl, and he's about to attack the diamond because its power is getting super strong. We see that Barb sent him there to help out, and the power is getting super strong. Courtney rides in through the Shade's shadow to attack the diamond, and the diamond breaks, and this is what really surprised me. Episode 6 of, I'm going to assume, the 13 episodes that is this season, I thought we wouldn't see him till later. Okay, let's talk about Eclipso. We get a full-on reveal of Eclipso. He is freed from the diamond. And instantly, your first thought is, this guy looks like a Power Rangers villain mixed with Malekith. And it works. He is hamming it up to the extreme, fully committed to the insanity bit. It is beautiful. It is perfectly executed. It makes for some really good television. He kills Isaac. Not even just like sends him to a shadow realm. He kills Isaac. He takes the soul of that kid. The Fiddler family is dead. Like the mommy, the daddy, the baby Fiddler. Every Fiddler is dead. He got his soul sucked. Does that mean he could come back? Maybe. I don't know how the soul stuff works. But he could come back, I guess. Artemis just runs, because what is she going to do? She's here to like get justice for her parents being in prison. She's not here to fight some weird darkness battle against two old dudes and a god. Like, what is she going to do there? So she leaves. Sydney gets sucked into like a gooey portal and Courtney tries to pull her out. But what is Courtney going to do? When you get sucked into a silly portal, there's nothing you can do. So essentially Eclipso used the entire ISA, kills most of them, screws off. He stabs the Shade, and the Shade's like fleeing from like shadow place to shadow place, trying to like, reorient himself. It's like, is it working? Who knows? But I'm just like, what a great introduction to Eclipso. We've been teasing him since episode 1 with that weird little kid. We've seen like the shadow face coming on people like Cindy, but the full-on reveal. And you know what? The costume doesn't look cinematic as some other stuff on these shows. It looks a little raggedy. I think that's just the design they went for this like ancient looking thing where it's more cheap. I don't know if cheap's the right word, but it just doesn't have the same cinematic feel as like the Wildcat or the Hourman or Stargirl costumes, which is fine, I guess. But the way that character just came in, killed our villains, ran away, turned into a little boy and walked off into the sunset. There was an eclipse that showed up in the sky, and he's like, I don't have to do anything else. Y'all already know I'm Eclipso. I'm the big bad. Here I am. What's up? What's next? What do you guys want? We're doing 7 more episodes of the show this season. It's me, Eclipso. I look terrifying. I'm intense. What are you gonna do about it? I don't know if he's gonna be as good as Icicle in terms of a cool character with nuance, but just an evil elf goblin thing that's full of darkness and hate. That's a compelling villain too, and it works for the JSA as they're getting further down the line of being superheroes. It works fine. When everybody regroups later, we're like, this is not good. Mike's trying to talk to his dad you have to train me. I want my own striped suit. I do not want to get captured again, and I don't want to die, so train me, daddy. You gotta help me. Barb's like, oh shit. What are we gonna do here? Everything is bad. Everything's bad. What can they do here? They're a bunch of kids. They can't win this battle. They can't. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? And that's super exciting to see. It's such a good episode. The fighting, the way that there's a scene where Our Man and Artemis are just breaking each other, bursting through a bathroom, just crushing through the doors and the stalls and the sinks. That shit was awesome. The way we get a call back to Mike sending down all the stop signs and we go to the junkyard of Zeke. It's awesome. And this was just the strongest episode of the show. Eclipso looked pretty cool. The fighting was amazing. The characters were all there. They felt like the characters they should be. Everything about this just worked really well and made for super compelling television. This show continues to surprise me. Just when I think I got it figured out, it throws a Jade at me, it throws a Thunderbolt at me, and now we see a badass action scene that lasted for most of the episode with a cool villain reveal. That's really impressive. It's rare to see a show stick the landing that well into the middle of its season and give us something cool to see. So that's very impressive. Stargirl, you should watch it. If you're not watching it, you really should, because it is surprising. It's still surprising, and that's the amazing thing. I had a smile on my face. I was giddy throughout it. That's cool to see this far into a season. So that is my review of Stargirl episode 6 of the 2nd season. Now, thank you guys so much for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.